How to build an app with AI no code. Over here, we are going to be using Lovable and we'll create a time management app for maximum productivity. So we're going to build a simple time management app using AI without writing any code. This app will help users plan daily tasks, track time blocks, stay focused, and improve productivity. The best part is everything will be created using Lovable, which means no coding, no design skills, just clear instructions. By the end of this video, you'll have a working app layout and logic. In order to start building your app, go to Lovable on your web browser and sign in. Once you have logged in, this is where you are going to land. Lovable is an AI no-code app builder. Instead of coding, you describe what you want in plain English, and Lovable is going to design that interface. It's going to create the app logic, and then it'll connect features automatically. So you absolutely do not need to know programming, databases, or UI design in order to use this app over here. So this over here is the prompt area where you are going to describe your app. So you're going to type in what kind of an app you want, and you're just going to simply describe it in text, in words, and then it is going to create that app for you. And don't worry, once that app is created, you will have a preview section where you can preview the app, and you also have editing and refinement options. If you go down, you can view any of your previous projects, and there are also some templates available that you can use in order to create your projects. On the left here, you have your dashboard. You can view your projects from here, and you can also view Lovable as a team. So if you have that plan, you can you can invite your team members, and you all can access your projects together, edit them, share them, and create. And again, down here, you have the templates. So coming back to the prompt box over here, you are going to clearly describe what kind of an app you want to build. In order to give it more information on that, you can also go down here. In order to provide even more information or guidance, you can add any reference images. So for example, if you click on this attach button here, you can attach any images. So if you click here, you can upload any images and other kinds of files, and then you can ask Lovable to create an app in reference to the attached images. You can maybe request a similar theme or a similar app or anything of the similar sort from that image, and Lovable will create it similar to that. Now over here, you also have the option of either taking a screenshot, or to increase your productivity, you can connect any connectors. So you go down here, and if you go to manage connectors, you can add any connectors to boost your productivity and save you a lot of time. You can also change the theme over here if you want. So you could go down to Glacier and change that. And these are what the colors are going to look like with the Glacier theme. And this is the Orchid theme. And then this chat button, if you click on that, you can enable the chat. Now, this is the chat where you can ask questions and you can plan your project or ask it about any ideas before actually creating it. So if you turn it on, you can ask the chat any kind of questions, and you can brainstorm with it without actually building the app right away. So I'm just going to enable that. And you can also communicate using your voice. And then this is just the enter button. So before you build your app, you need to be very clear about what your app is going to do. Now, the time management app that we are going to create is, we are going to be very clear about that. So what we are going to create is a time management app, and our time management app will include a daily task list. It is going to have time blocks for each task, and it is going to have priority levels. It is also going to have a simple productivity overview. So now we need to be able to clearly describe this to Lovable. So we're going to be very careful with our words, we're very careful with our prompt, and then we are going to type it into the prompt box. And this is the prompt that I've put in. It says, create a time management app focused on daily productivity. The app should allow users to add tasks, assign time blocks, set priorities, and view their daily schedule in a clean and simple interface. And submit the prompt. Now over here, Lovable has a few questions for me. So it says that it would like to plan this out, but in order to understand my preferences better, I need to answer some questions. So let's go down and look at them together. So I need to decide whether it's going to be a timeline view, simple list, or calendar grid. I'm going to choose this one. What design style do you prefer? Minimalist, colorful and fun, or professional? So I'm going to choose colorful and fun. Do you need your tasks and schedule to be saved between sessions? So for now, I'm just going to select an option which is suitable for a demo. What additional features would you like included? So I'm going to choose this one. Who are you building for? How should the daily schedule be displayed? And just go over the questions and answers and click on submit. And then here is the plan based on my preference. There is a detailed summary of everything that they have decided for us. You could either click on implement the plan, or I could type in and I could ask for any changes. So go over the plan carefully and then click on implement. And here Lovable is building our app. And there we go, the app has been created, and this is the preview over here. Now, the area where we were typing in the prompts and then answering the questions has collapsed to the side over here, and this is what it looks like now. So we were up till here, and then after that, you can see that they gave us a very small summary of what has been created in written form. And if you want, if you click here, you can also view the code for this part as well. You can still ask any questions or ask for any changes as well over here. But first, we're going to view the version that we have. So this is the first version that we have been provided. Now we can make changes to it and edit it accordingly. Now, some tasks also have been added, like it says over here. I've added simple tasks so you can see how it looks right away. So some tasks have been added here so that we can view and see exactly what it looks like. So there's the title, today's schedule, the date is there, and then you also have these tiny little boxes over here, which have a, I guess, brief summary of how many tasks have been completed out of 6. 2 of those were urgent, 2 are medium, and 1 is low. So let's go down. We have the time over here, and the task was gym workout. Once it got completed, we ticked it here. So whoever the user is going to be, they're going to tick it off, and then it's just going to get crossed out. And this is green because this is low priority. Then we have 2 tasks in blue: morning stand-up meeting and review project proposal. Now let's just tick on it. And there we go. It's kind of translucent now, and it has been crossed out. Now let's do this one, and that's how it's going to appear. So you can actually kind of just use the app a little bit, the interface, and then try it out. You also have errands over here. So blue was work-related stuff, and then you have medium priority, which is this. So you have grocery shopping. Once that is done, you have learning, which is an online course. You have personal, call mom, and if you tick that off, this is how it looks. And this is throughout your day, the time is going on. And then this was 60 minutes, so 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. This was 30 minutes, so this is between 6 and 7. Now, if you want to add a task, you have a floating button over here. Let's click on that. And then this box is going to appear. You're going to put in the details. So let's add a new task. So the task title is edit content, and then you have the description, which I've added over here. The start time is 9 a.m. and duration is 30 minutes. Priority, high, category, learning. So add that task, and then you're going to get a notification. This has been added to your schedule. And let's see if we have it at 9. There we go. At 9 a.m. we have edit content, and this is learning related. And once it's done, it's going to get crossed off. So like we said in our prompt, we said that we wanted a time management app focused on daily productivity. So we have a daily schedule. The app would allow users to add tasks. This is where we can add the tasks and assign time blocks. So we have time blocks over here, and we can set priorities. So color-based priorities, we can do that. And we can view the daily schedule in a clean and simple interface. And this is exactly that. So now what we can do is we can refine the app using small improvement. So I'm going to put in another prompt over here down in the dialog box. And it says improve the UI to be minimal and distraction free. So let's see how that changes it. And so this is the change that has taken place now because it was already a very minimal kind of view. If you ask it to make it more minimal, then this is what's going to happen. So basically it says in the in words or in the text over here, it says that now I'll update the components to be more minimal and distraction free. I'll simplify the task card, daily header, and overall layout. The UI is now clean and minimal, removed colorful backgrounds, simplified the header to just show date and progress, and make task cards use subtle borders instead of category colors. So this is what it is going to appear like after the changes. Now, all the functions are still going to take place and you can do all of this. So it still works, but we have a few changes here. Now here again, I prompted it to change it to a dark theme. So this is how it looks like with the dark theme. You can also have dark theme for that. Now it's not usually done for productivity apps, and the initial colors that were present were the actual fit. But just to give you an idea, so you're just going to go down here and you're going to type in the prompt and send the prompt, and then simply your app is going to get changed without having to code anything, without worrying about any of that. All you have to concentrate on is the appearance or what it looks like, more on the creativity level. You get to focus more on the creativity and the brainstorming and what the app is going to look like. All you have to do is just describe the change or describe the kind of app, and that will get generated within seconds, exactly how you have seen. Now, there are some more changes that you could make. For example, you could put in a prompt saying, add a daily productivity summary showing completed and pending tasks. Now we do have a summary kind of over here which says 5 out of 7 tasks are complete. So you could type in the prompt, make the task input simple and fast to use. So these are the kind of improvements that you can continue making to your app once it has been created. Now, every time you make a suggestion, so let's go back up here, and every time you put in a prompt asking Lovable to make any changes, it is going to completely update the app. So if you go down here, now over here it has updated the app. And this is the new version. Then you go down and then you get the dark version. So right now we are previewing the latest version. So every time you give it a prompt, it is going to update the whole app, and then you can move forward with that. Now this is the preview of the app. If you go up here, you can see it says preview. Next to it, you have cloud and then you have design. So if you go to design, you can go over here, and on themes, you can browse and apply themes to your project. So if you click here, you have these different themes available and you can apply those to your project. So if you hover over them, there are some default themes. Now you have this theme, you have this one, there's another one, Obsidian, Orchid, Solar, Tide. So you can apply any one of these themes as well if that is your only concern. If you just want to change the themes, you can come over here and you can change those. Now, if you go down from the themes and you click on visual edits, you can select the different elements that you want to edit or you want to change. So you're going to go to the element. Now, because there are so many over here, you're going to very carefully go over here. Now, this is one box. You click on that, you can edit it. You can type in here, you can ask Lovable any questions about it, how you would like to change it, for any suggestions, what would seem suitable. And you can also go to the code for this little bit over here and view code for only that. You could also go over here and type in what you want changed. Now let's select a bigger area. So if you click here, this is the background, which we have selected right now. So up at the top, you can see you have colors, you have text color, and you have background color. So the text color is this one, and this is the background color. You can go to the spacing and you can change the margins and the padding. You can go down and select details about the border. And this is only the background we are talking about right now. So only for the background, the border for that, the border color for that, the border width, the border style. You have the different effects that you can add here. So first, I'm just going to apply this theme over here so we can clearly see the visual edits that we're going to make. So selecting the background over here again. So I'm going to select the small border radius, and for the shadow, I'm gonna select default. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna change the text color. So simply in the visual edits section, you're just gonna hover over and you're gonna click on whichever division you want to edit. Now all of them are not going to be able to be edited, but once you hit one, go there, you click on the colors that you want to change. You can change the spacing, the layout, alignment, gaps, borders, border colors, and different effects. So you can change all of those things. So now let's move on ahead to the code. So after design, you have code over here. So you have all of your files over here related to the code. And if there is any file that you would like to save, you are just going to go up to the top right corner and then you're going to click on download file. So whatever file that you want to download, you can download that, or you could even copy the file content. So you could copy that and you could paste it in any documents or notes of your own where you would like. And you could also use a reference file in the chat. So if you would like to put in a chat over here and reference it and ask for it to make any changes to that certain file, you could do that as well. Now this is read only, so you don't need to worry about making any kind of mistakes over here or messing up any of the code. Now these are the files, different files related to the coding, and this is the code over here. You can view it, you can go in and make changes to it yourself. You can also learn from this a lot. So you can go in and you can see what kind of code has been written for which division, and you can really view what kind of code it was, how it can be made better, or how you yourself can achieve something like that. So that is what you have here for coding. After code, you have analytics over here. So if you go there, you can view the analytics. And then up here, you can also add any other features that you want to stay up here. So you could pin any of those. You have analytics, but that is already there. Cloud is there, code is there, design is there. You could choose security and speed. So you could pin those up here. And then up here, you also have history. So when you click on that, you can see all of the history that what you have been doing. There was a visual edit, then you applied a theme, then you switched to dark colors, simplified the UI, and implemented a timeline. So these are all things which are there. You can bookmark these in history, or you could revert to this version as well if you would like. So let's just go up and revert to the original version that we have. So now you would notice over here that this is unpublished. If you look here, it is unpublished, and over here is the option of publish. So once you have gone through all the settings, you've gone through the code, you've gone through the preview, and you are happy with your app, you are happy with the project, and everything seems suitable to you, you're just gonna go up here and you're gonna click on publish. And the app created is going to be live and your project is going to be published, it's going to be finished, and then you can start sharing that app with your friends and family, and you can make it available for others to use, and you can also start using it yourself. You can also decide whatever kind of access you want to allow it. So it could be anyone who can access this, or you can also review its security, and you can make sure that if it's only available to people within your workspace, or if you want to give access only to specific few people. So you're in control of that, and you can decide that. Now, the name for your app has also been decided by Lovable, and it named it Focus Flow. Now, if you click on the drop down here, you can go down and you can make changes to the name. If you go to rename project over here, you can rename the project. Right, so that app was a pretty simple and a minimalist kind of app that we created for project management. Right, so the app that we just created was basically a demo app, and it was a very simple and minimalist kind of app where we created for time management. Now let's go down and I'm going to show you another app. So this app is basically a project management app, and it is a bit more complex than the previous one. So over on the left, again, we have the Lovable chat over here where we can enter whatever kind of changes that we want to add in, and we can ask it to make those changes. Previously, we did make some changes and it has added those things. It has added a task filtering So it has made some changes that I asked it to make earlier. For example, I asked it to add a filter over here. So these filters were added for projects and status and date range. So these filters were added over here. Other than that, this app is very nice. If you look at the preview, so we are here on the preview, and if you look, these colors are dark. There are different shades used over here. You have the dashboard button, the calendar button, and you have the new project button. So if you click here, you can create a new project, and over here you're going to enter in the project name and enter in the description, and then you can create the project. If you click on the dashboard, you will be taken there. You have the calendar view as well. So if you go down, you can view the calendar and you can put in any tasks on the calendar. So let's go back to the dashboard view. Now this is the task dashboard and you can manage your projects and tasks. Now you have a total of 3 projects and the completed tasks are 3, which are 38% complete. In progress are 2 and 5 are overdue. So these are just some basic info that has been put in so we can view the app in while it is functioning. We have a task distribution chart over here, through which we can really visually see how much work is completed and how much is in progress, what we have to do. And then we have our projects over here. So we have a mobile app, which is under process, building the iOS and Android app. And the tasks for that, only one of those 3 are complete. If you click on that, you can come and view it over here in detail. If you go back, you also have the website redesign to revamp the company website. If you go there, again, 1 task is complete out of 3. And then you have the marketing campaign over here. 1 is complete and 1 is remaining. Now you have your tasks written out over here in every project. And then here on the dashboard, you can get just a tiny, small, little preview of what is going on in all the different areas. And at one glance, you can see how well everything is progressing or how well not. Again, you do have the design over here. You can click and you can apply any theme that you want to. So right now, this is the current theme. We could change the theme. So let's just go ahead and apply this one. And this is what it looks like after the change of theme. Again, you can go down and make any visual edits if you want. So if you select any area from here, you can go here and you can make those changes by going to the left details over here. Now, after design, again, you have the code. You can view the code and you can view the files and save those. Go in and make any changes to the code. So let's just go back to the preview. And once you are happy with your app and the preview and you think you've done everything correctly, so you're going to go up and you're going to click on publish and your app is going to be published. You're going to decide what kind of restrictions you want for it, if you want it to be public or if you want only specific people to be able to view your app. You can go up and share your app and you can invite any collaborators to view your app with you. And by clicking publish, you would have built a time management app using AI with absolutely no code. And with Lovable, you didn't write a single line of code, yet you created a functional app, real productivity features, a clean user experience, and this shows how powerful AI no-code tools are. And how easy it is to create an app with Lovable. You just come up here, describe the kind of app you want, preview it, and just click publish. And there your app will be created without having to worry about any kind of code. So what you have seen here is completely a new way of creating software. With tools like Lovable, you don't start with code anymore, but you're actually going to start with a problem. So you just describe what you want in plain language and the AI figures out the structure, the logic, and the interface for you, and you don't have to worry about all of that. And this really changes how beginners should think about app building. You don't need to know programming languages. You don't need to design complex user interfaces. You don't even need to know any technical terms. All that matters here is clarity. So if you go to the app, you just need to be clear on what you need. If you can clearly explain what your app should do, who it is for, and how it should behave, Lovable can turn that into something real. Another important thing to understand is that your first version does not need to be perfect. In fact, it really shouldn't be. A lot of beginners make the mistake of trying to add too many features too early. They keep improving, tweaking, and adding things until the app becomes confusing or it just stops working properly. So, the app that we built here is usable and it solves a real problem, and that is enough for a first version. From here onwards, improvement should happen slowly and intentionally. So you go ahead, test the app, use it yourself, and notice what feels unnecessary and what feels missing. And then you can make small changes one at a time. And that is really how actual apps are made. And if you ever want to explain this app to someone, all you're going to say is that this is a simple app that solves a specific problem and it was built quickly using modern AI tools. Stay productive, avoid burnout, and actually finish your projects.